Hey folks, my name's Noah Lynch, and you're listening to the Slawcast.
Down in Arkansas, they serve you coleslaw, chopped up finer than a bale of straw. When you crunch and gnaw, a bunch of coleslaw keeps you...
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Slawcast with your host Noah Lynch. I am Noah Lynch. I'm the two-time Pulitzer Prize winner in the category of side dish nonfiction, four-time Coleslaw Reviewer of the Year by Time Magazine, 30 Under 30 Coleslaw Media Luminary, and the host of the number one coleslaw advice podcast on the internet, the Slawcast. Welcome back to episode 3 of the Summer of Slaw 2021. I am incredibly excited for this episode for two reasons. Number one, it's another Slawcast, and that's always exciting. And number two, we have a good coleslaw coming, and I can tell you that just because I took a sneak peek at the ingredients list, and I'm really excited for this next coleslaw. So today actually marks the third episode in the trilogy of JC Deli coleslaws. I'm ready to get into it, but I had a couple things to say before we get into the coleslaw, but I really hope that this episode is mostly about coleslaw. I think that's what the people are here for, so we're not going to get into this drama too much, but it would be a bit naive of me to think that I could do an event on the Slawcast and not have some kind of controversy coming from the mainstream media. So I will address what's being said. First of all, I just want to say the number one thing here is nobody is buying me out. Okay, I'm not selling out to anyone. There's no corporate sponsors for the Summer of Slaw. This is purely a grassroots event. We're here to find the best slaw out there. That's our only goal. That will continue to be our only goal. I will never lie to you. I'll never make a slaw sound better than it really is. And I'll never make a slaw sound worse than it really is. I'll be 100% honest with you, just like I have throughout my whole career. You don't win Pulitzer Prizes and Time Magazine awards. You don't win these things unless you have some kind of integrity. And, you know, people try and take shots at my integrity all the time. That's okay. But at the end of the day, if you're a true Slawcast listener and you're a member of this community, then you know I'm telling the truth. So yeah, there was a news story came out on CNN, of course, talking about how JC had offered me money and was paying for the Summer of Slaw, or was a sponsor for the Summer of Slaw or something like that. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm going to tell you what I told CNN when they wanted to get an interview with me. Notice they couldn't get one. You want to know why? It's because, listen, I put out my own news. I don't need anybody else to talk about the Slawcast. I'll tell you what I told them, which is that there is no corporate sponsor for the Summer of Slaw. There will never be a corporate sponsor for the Summer of Slaw. And I might sound like a broken record here, folks, but I'm going to say it again. I will never sell out, okay? Everything you hear on here is my honest, and let's face it, quite educated opinion, okay? So it's not fact, but it's pretty damn close. Okay, so anyway, now that we've got done with all that stuff, I'm going to get into the coleslaw today for the important part of the show. So again, like I said, another JC Slaw. I have high hopes for this coleslaw, and you will see why when I start to reading the ingredients list. Anyway, so $2.99 a pound. So Summer Slaw was about $3.50 a pound. I think it was actually $3.49 a pound. Grandma Slaw was $2.99 a pound, but I mean, the ingredients list and everything, the slaw itself did not hold up. I wouldn't pay $1 a pound for that stuff. I'll be honest with you. Now, if it were on sale, it was Black Friday or something, you could get that for like 30 cents a pound. I might do it, I mean, a little bit of trashiness is not a bad thing in my opinion. Anyway, $2.99 a pound. I got 1 pound. 1.05 pounds, sorry. Paid $3.14 for the whole container. So to get into the ingredients list, first of all, this coleslaw is called just simply Deli Coleslaw Salad. So at first that kind of scared me a little bit. I mean, I think most of us understand that a coleslaw is a salad. It's a side salad specifically, but it's in the name, Deli Coleslaw Salad. So ingredients list starts with cabbage, mayonnaise, soybean oil, egg yolks, high fructose corn syrup, and then distilled vinegar, mustard, goes on from there. To me, this is the most promising ingredients list we've had so far in all three JC coleslaws. This seems pretty grassroots. I mean, you got stuff in there, there's the acids, the preservatives, and the flavor additives and everything, and there is high fructose corn syrup, but a little bit of sweetness never really hurt anyone. I'm really thinking this is going to be good. So first impressions, I'm going to pop the lid open and we're going to see just first impressions wise how good this is. So popping the lid open on the container. Bang, he don't want to come open. There he goes. Wow. Okay. So I'm going to tell you right now, there is a massive difference between this coleslaw and the grandma's coleslaw we had before from JC. So already I am getting a nostalgic feeling, just the aroma that this thing gives off. On the nose, we've got some nutty tones, a little bit of earthiness in there. It's very bright. It's very fruity. There's cabbage. I see plenty of carrots in there. Man, that carrot actually kind of takes off a little bit. There is that, you smell that vinegar too, that kind of bite to it. If I'm looking at the underbelly, I'm going to grab a fresh spoon. The underbelly on this slaw, we can almost think of it as somewhere a middle ground between the summer slaw and the grandma's coleslaw from JC. So it's not watery. The summer slaw was way less watery than the grandma's slaw. This is somewhere in between. Even though I would say the summer slaw had a pretty high liquid content for, just your run of the mill homemade slaw. For a manufactured coleslaw, it really wasn't too bad. This seems to be kind of in that same group. Like I said, it's somewhere in between. There's a little more liquid content, but I'm looking at the top of this coleslaw, even without looking at anywhere else throughout the entire container. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 different chunks. I shouldn't say chunks. 8 different shredded pieces of carrot just on the top. So I'm going to isolate one of those pieces of carrot and try that real quick. Wow. Crunchy. Sweet. Obviously, tastes like a carrot. I'm going to be honest with you. That's about what it is. Let's try some just overall coleslaw here. I'm going to back off the mic for this one. Wow. Okay. So this makes it hard. Now here's the thing. When you go into this coleslaw, you taste that cabbage, you taste that carrot. There's a lot of carrot in there. Actually, maybe even a little more carrot than I prefer, but I know some people that do like that in a coleslaw. So I'm not going to count that against it. I'm going to try and be as objective as I can. Now, that cabbage, if I had to describe this coleslaw in just a short phrase, I would say cabbage is king. Okay? The cabbage is very forward facing. Carrot's kind of right there, stage right, just off center. But the spotlight is definitely on the cabbage. Finely shredded, I'd say probably inch long pieces as well as the carrots. It's kind of uniform, which some people, it might come across a little unauthentic, but I think it works. Plenty of mayo in there. And that, as far as the mayo versus vinegar battle goes on this coleslaw, the mayo wins out. That's going to be good for some people, not so good for others. In my opinion, it works really well in this coleslaw. It's a greatly put together slaw. I have almost no complaints here. So here's where it gets interesting. As far as the JC trilogy goes, I mean, things just got turned upside down because I think it's just as good, if not maybe a little better than the summer slaw. And when you're talking about price point, this is 50 cents cheaper per pound, folks. So, I mean, I don't think there's any argument to be made here. I think that we have a new king of the hill as far as coleslaw goes for the summer slaw 2021. I think the deli coleslaw salad from JC, if you're in town or you're around a JC, you might look at picking this up. This is pretty dang good, especially if you're just in a pickle and you need some coleslaw real quick. You don't have time to make it on your own. I think this is a very viable option. So that's actually very exciting. It surprises me a little bit. I didn't have a whole lot of expectation after the grandma's coleslaw, but for now, summer slaw 2021, the deli coleslaw salad from JC is the king of the hill, the number one slaw around. Now we still got plenty of summer to go, So I'm not holding out, but for now, that is the #1 coleslaw of the summer 2021. This has been the Slawcast. I'm Noah. Until next time, I'll saw you later.
No bread, no meat, no potatoes, and nothing that's sweet. All I want is a lot of coleslaw.